Welcome, welcome. Thank you guys for joining us again for another episode series on 5, Fortitude, Innovative Value, Excellence, where we are amplifying women's voices in the community. And we have a very special, beautiful, and talented guest with us today, Miss Shana Harmon Golf. Thank you. Yay.
Oh, thank you for joining us. Ashley. So raw, Ashley, for having me. So good to be here with you today.
Thank you.
And I'm so excited because you're doing your thing and letting people hear the voices of the community and people all around. So thank you for letting me be a part of this.
Yes, thank you for agreeing to be a part of this. I know you're busy, you have a birthday trip coming up, and so you've got a lot of things going on. And so I just appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule to do this for me. And I really appreciate it.
Anything for you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so tell us a little bit more about yourself.
I was born and raised in Harlem and moved away and came to South Carolina and stayed there for several years, I think 17, 18 years. And then moved back to New York about 5 years ago. And I was in much prayer because I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do after I graduated law school. And my family said, just come on back home. And when I moved back in with my family, my dad was like, you try to work at a law firm, right? He's like, go work at a law firm. And I was like, I don't know. But then one of the residents where I live had said, they gave me this, they was like, you should run for the board. And I was like, I don't know. And I ended up running for the board because they said, we want a young lawyer on the board. So I ran for the board, ended up getting the highest amount of votes. And I remember in one of the board meetings, an assemblyman at that time came in and he was advocating for one of the shareholders, the residents there. And I wanted to introduce myself to him. And I said, hi, I'm Shana, just graduated law school. I'm thinking about getting into politics. I'm not really sure. And he said, I want you to meet this young guy who is running for state senate. So he invited me to this, they were in this thing where they were choosing the Democratic nominee at that time in 2017. And I ended up meeting the senator at that time. Well, he wasn't the senator then, but I ended up meeting Brian. Mm-hmm. And he ended up winning the Democratic nominee. And I've been working with him on his campaign. And then he ended up winning. Well, my dad said, I hope he wins. I didn't spend all that money for you to go to law school and he not win. And so he ended up winning, and I'm with him today. And I've increased every year. I feel like I'm getting a promotion. When I started, I was just the community liaison. Uh-huh. And then I was promoted to the director of community affairs. Mm-hmm. And then 2 years ago, I was promoted to his district office director.
District office director. District 30, right?
District 30. So that district encompasses, it's a state senate district. So it encompasses East Harlem, Central Harlem, parts of the Upper West Side, which is Upper Manhattan, and then parts of Washington Heights. So it's more like an if you're not from New York, I would kind of reference it as Upper Manhattan.
Right. And so I know your background from when I've known you a long time ago, that you were always really good with marketing. You were always good with public relations. So this was like right up your alley. And I remember when you were going to law school, or said that you were going to go to law school. And so that was great. And to see you come out and see you hitting the ground, your feet touching the pavement, you're in the communities with the constituents, and you are involved, right? As with your position, like you have to have good public relation, skills. You have to be in good communication because you're communicating with the constituents, you're communicating with DC, you're communicating with everybody, right? You're overseeing, you are the representative, right? You represent Brian Benjamin, right?
Yeah.
You are basically the
face, right? So I do a number of different things for the senator. I plan his events. I speak on his behalf. I
Right.
also am his district office director. So I do a whole host of different things, and it keeps me busy. Sometimes I'm never off. I'm working sometimes Monday through Sunday, but it's something that I love doing. If someone would have asked me about 5 years ago, would I be in politics? I would say, I don't know about that, but I love it. When I got into this, now I would never work for any other politician, but Senator Benjamin. I think he's a great person, and he's sincere. He loves people.
Mhm.
And I knew if I was going to get into politics, I needed to work for someone who I believed in and was of good character.
Awesome. Awesome. What are some of the changes that you would like to see in your community? What are some of the changes you would like to see?
Well, I just think that in Harlem, in Manhattan area, there's a lot of addiction abuse going on and substance abuse going on. And a lot of times you have the police officers basically handling issues that they see of addiction on the streets. And a lot of times I believe that you have police over policing, and we need more mental health counselors out there on the streets. So a lot of times you'll see mental health counselors inside an office, but if you know that Harlem, for instance, we have a huge drug addiction problem, then we should send out these mental health counselors out there to be able to know how to rehabilitate somebody on the streets or whatever. But we need more mental health counselors here in my community on the streets to help with the drug addiction that's going on. And also housing. Housing is a big issue. A lot of our senior citizens are being displaced. You have seniors who have lived in these apartments for about 50 years. And now they're trying to be pushed out of their home, and then the rents are going up. And so I'm trying to, as my job as working with Senator Benjamin, is making sure that housing stays affordable, especially for our seniors, and making sure we get the necessary mental health counseling that some of these people need, the drug addiction people need, and especially during this time of May being Mental Health Awareness Month.
Absolutely, absolutely. That was some good stuff. Yeah, mental health awareness is so important, and like you're saying, having these counselors in places to de-escalate these situations, to help to recognize, right, what type of mental health issue there is, right, to identify. When you have someone that's in the field, they can identify, hey, this is what's going on. These are the things we need to do to de-escalate the situation, to get them into a safe space and to get them help. And so you're absolutely right. So with, you've been doing this for 5 years, right? What are some of the life lessons that you have learned while being in this position, while evolving as a woman, as growing in your career? What are some of the life lessons that you have learned and that you wouldn't mind passing on to maybe other people that want to be in the position that you're in, or just other women in general?
So the biggest thing that I have learned, because I'm a talker, I love to talk. And growing up, my mother used to make me and my siblings here in New York volunteer at nursing homes. And I remember just talking and talking and talking to these senior citizens, which they loved because a lot of times their family didn't visit them as often as they would like. And so I remember one woman saying, "You should listen, young lady, listen. It's better to listen than to do so much speaking." And so that has followed me throughout life, is just pretty much listening. And being back in Harlem, when I go to these community meetings and listening, that's what they really want me to do, is really, of course they want me to help solve their issues. But the biggest thing is they want us to listen. So I think it's better to listen than it is to speak. And oftentimes when people are talking to us, we're not really listening. We're trying to figure out a response to what they're saying instead of taking in what they're saying, processing it, and then responding, because oftentimes people react instead of responding. So it's better to respond than it is to react. So my life lesson I would say to people is just do more listening than speaking, and practice on responding than reacting.
Very good. The last thing we're gonna do is we're gonna do finish the sentence. All right, I'm gonna start it off. You're gonna finish it. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Let me get to my questions. Okay. I get inspired by.
I get inspired by talking to my senior citizens because they are a wealth of knowledge and a lot of times people don't listen to them. And so I get inspired just listening to what they have to say because they've been here, they've seen a lot of different things. And I get inspired by listening to my senior citizens and telling me just the history of everything that they've been through from segregation and just a different things that they've gone through. I get inspired by that.
When you follow your passion.
Oh gosh, these are some kind of tough ones. Okay. When I follow my passion, I feel like this is where, let me think. It's like, okay, so when I follow my passion, I feel it's something that I want to say about the Lord, because I feel like where I am is where I'm supposed to be. So, and this is my passion. So I feel like my passion is where I am and who I am, and I can inspire. And I just thank the Lord for allowing me to be in this space. And I wake up every day and just very grateful for this whole opportunity. And sometimes I'm in awe, like, how did I even get here?
Yes, yes, awesome. Being an African American woman.
Being an African American woman is powerful. Yeah. Nothing else needs to be said.
Nothing else. I love it. I love it. I love it. Nothing else. Okay. New York is
my home, and I love it.
Yes, thank you so much, Shana. Thank you
so much.
I love you. It's so good seeing you again. I miss you. I miss that beautiful smile of yours.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being a guest on 5 Fortitude, Innovative, Value, and Excellence, where we are amplifying women's voices in the community. We'll see you next time, you guys. Bye-bye.